Hey guys, it's Paul.
And Shannon back here behind the camera.
Yep, so we are going to continue our discussion about the Disney dining plan today, and hopefully we're going to finish it up. I feel like we've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to dive right in. I hope you saw the first video where we talked about Disney dining stuff. We covered a lot of information in that, so if you haven't seen that, please check that out. Today we're going to talk about, basically today's video is going to be assuming that you are going on the Disney dining plan. We're going to talk about some of the tips and tricks, but even if you don't use the dining plan, this is still, you're going to get a lot of good dining information in this video. So there's something for everybody. So let's just dive in. We talked about what the dining plans were last time, so I'm not going to go back to that. I'm just going to assume most people go on the regular Disney dining plan, which is 1 counter service, 1 table service, and then 2 snacks. So most of what we're going to talk about today is going to be table service. We're also going to tell you what our favorite restaurants at Disney are. Before we jump into table service, I want to give a shout out to a couple of quick service restaurants that we absolutely love. Every park seems to have like a couple of really good ones, sometimes only one really good one. So I just want to tell you what our favorite counter service restaurants are. These are all great options for lunch or for dinner if you need a counter service meal. We'll start with the Magic Kingdom. We love, I think it's called, yeah, here we go, I have it written down. Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe. You cannot stay there for the night, but that's what they call it. They have great burgers there, fries. The portions are just huge, so you can actually share if you have somebody with a smaller appetite. That's a really good one. That is over in, let me think, between Adventureland and Frontierland. So you can find that there. It's a really big place. The other one in the Magic Kingdom is called, I forget what it's called. I didn't write it down, but it's like the
Columbia House?
Columbia.
No, Columbia Harbor.
Yeah, Columbia Harbor House or something like that. It's by the Haunted Mansion. It's in Liberty Square. So it's a counter service place, and they offer some different foods other than like the burgers and the chicken nuggets and stuff. They have like some fish sandwiches. They have a really good vegan sandwich option, which we had one time. It's just a good break from the burger, pizza, nugget, chicken nugget kind of meals that you're going to find a lot of places. Animal Kingdom, the Flame Tree Barbecue is the best. Hands down, it has great options. It's usually crowded though. So that's a great counter service in Animal Kingdom. Hollywood Studios, I don't have it written down, but I think it's called like the Backlot Cafe or something along those lines. They make a really good grilled chicken sandwich. Their chicken sandwiches are just really good. I like them a lot. Of course, they have the burgers. They've got the chicken nuggets and stuff like that too. And last but not least, Epcot. What do we have a good counter service?
Our favorite counter service in Epcot is in the America Pavilion.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it, but it's in the America land.
Yeah, so America doesn't have a sit-down restaurant.
Nope.
So it's in like the big thing that looks like Independence Hall. It's a huge place to eat, and they sell the burgers and the chicken nuggets and the pizza, but it's really good. So if you need a place in Epcot, that's a great counter service place. It's as far away as you can be. If you're starting like in Epcot where the big golf ball is, it's as far away as you can be because it's across the lake in the American.
You get your exercise before you eat your burger.
That's right. And then you got to walk back. So
then you burn your burger off.
Yeah. Okay, those are the counter service places. Let's dive into the table service places. So I want to start with a couple of, I'm going to go into nerd mode here. And I promised I wouldn't do it, but the dining plan costs this much. For the regular dining plan, you're going to pay $70, just about $70 per person per day. For the deluxe plan, now remember the deluxe plan is 3 meals, either counter service or table service. That's going to be $107 per day. So the bulk of that, most people go on the regular plan, so the bulk of that money is going to be your table service meal. So you really want to find table service meals that are a good value for your money. One of the worst things to use your table service credits on is breakfast if you're trying to maximize your value in terms of money. The breakfasts are usually a lot cheaper, so if you want to have a table service breakfast, paying for those cash is usually a better option. The other thing is some restaurants, not many, but some in Disney World, cost 2 table service credits. So those are also not a good value to use if you're on the regular meal plan, because you're going to sacrifice 2 table service meal credits, so 2 days worth of meal credits to have 1 meal. And most of the time, those meals would actually be a lot cheaper just to pay for, and then use your table service credits for other meals. That's going to, of course, depend on your length of stay and really where you want to eat. You'll have to decide whether that's a good value for you, but that's just a good tip for you. Again, if you're trying to maximize the value of these things. Another good thing, which is going to help keep everybody sane, we have found this to be a really good tip, is a lot of the character dining options. Number one, a lot of them are buffets, and number two, a lot of them are 1 single table service credit. Those are some of the best values to use your table service credits on. If you want to meet the characters that are going to be there, or you have children that want to meet the characters that are going to be there, this will save you hours in line in the parks. It's a great way. There's several buffets where you can meet the core characters, which would be Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Pluto, and sometimes Daisy Duck. You'll have the option to meet them in outfits that you won't see them in other places. I'll tell you about those things in just a minute. There are a couple of character meals that are going to cost more than 1 credit. Cinderella's Royal Table, where you eat your meal in the castle. That's going to be 2 credits. And that's also one of the hottest dining reservations there is. So just kind of be aware of that.
A great place if your kids want to see the princesses is to eat in Epcot. It's called Akershus or Akershus. You have quite a few princesses in there, but keep in mind the food is not why you're going.
Yeah.
Because it's meh. Sorry, Akershus. The food's meh.
Yes.
But the princesses come to your table.
Yep.
So your kids, you just get to sit there. They come right to your table while you eat, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So Shannon brought up a good point. At all of the character dining options, that's going to be something that's going to happen. You're going to sit down. If it's a buffet style meal, you're going to be going up to get to the buffet line to get your food, but the characters will rotate around the room. Your server is going to. They're going to kind of prep you. They're going to tell you what the process is, and they're also going to give you a heads up saying, hey, Mickey and Minnie are 2 tables away. They're probably going to be here in the next 5 minutes. You are going to want to get your cameras ready. Even if your server doesn't tell you,
be ready.
Be ready, because the characters, they need to see hundreds of tables, so they're going to be able to spend a little bit of time with you, but not very much. They're very, very good interacting with you and with your kids. They will sign the autograph books. They'll take a couple pictures, but then they really do need to move along. And usually, there's a little bit of interaction. They'll give you a high five or a hug, or mess with you in some way.
Or Piglet will eat your child's ice cream.
Yeah, that happens.
That was a highlight of our trip.
Yeah, because we have older kids that go, yeah, the characters interact with you in a different way, and that's actually a really neat thing to see. The character meals are still some of the most fun things that we have. So let's talk about some of the character meals. In Magic Kingdom, I've already mentioned Cinderella's Royal Table. Be Our Guest features the Beast. Everybody can meet the Beast on their way out.
Only at dinner.
Only at dinner time, yes. Yeah. So the Beast is available at dinner time, and he does not come around the tables. You see him on the way out.
He's hanging out in his library, right?
Yes, he's in the library.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's worth the price of admission, which is free, but you do have to eat.
Yes. Yes. Crystal Palace is an awesome experience. There's a lot of diverse food at Crystal Palace.
And the food is good.
The food is good. Callie, our cat's now mushing our cat trap. Our camera
Sorry, the camera's shaking.
Sorry. So Crystal Palace has Winnie the Pooh and friends. So every time we've been there, it's been the same characters. It's always been Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore. Eeyore is absolutely adorable.
Yep.
I'm sure that there's other character dining in Magic Kingdom, but I'm blanking out on what it is right now. Epcot, like Shannon mentioned, has Akershus Royal Banquet Hall. That's going to feature the princesses. Every time we've been there, Belle has greeted everybody, and you get a picture with Belle in her big yellow gown.
Which I believe is the only place you can see her in that gown.
I think so. We have always seen Alice there, but then there's a rotating group of princesses that are also there. Sometimes there's Snow White, Cinderella,
Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel has been there every time. Alice in Wonderland is there, and they are all in there. And Aurora was there last time.
Yep.
So you never know what princesses you're going to get, but you get, including Belle, about 5. That's a good thing. And the princesses, the lines to meet the princesses are usually really long
in the park.
In the parks. So these dinner options are great because they just come right by your table. They talk with you. That's really neat. A hidden gem that we discovered a couple trips ago was 1900 Park Fair. That is not in one of the parks. That is actually in Grand Floridian Hotel. That features Cinderella's stepmother, Lady Tremaine, and the stepsisters.
For dinner. It just dinner?
For dinner.
Because breakfast is different characters.
Yeah. Prince Charming and Cinderella also come around, and sometimes the fairy godmother replaces Lady Tremaine. So
you score, though, if you hit the night when it's Lady Tremaine and the stepsisters.
Because
amazing.
They are awesome. That's a whole different Disney character experience because they're villains. They
heckle you.
They heckle. Yeah, they heckle you. They just have a lot of fun with you, and you have a lot of fun with them. Obviously, for younger kids, it's a little bit different, but they're a blast to see. And if you haven't done that, that's good.
But all of the characters are always really good at kind of reading the table and interacting at a level that works for your group.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the food there is also really good. Shannon had mentioned Akershus. The food was not so good. Didn't used to be that way. Akershus used to actually be really good food.
Yep.
But the last time we were there, I didn't. Like Shannon said, we were going for the characters. Okay. Other character dining that's notable. What else am I missing, Shannon?
So at Ohana,
yes.
at breakfast,
Yep.
you can meet Lilo and Stitch. Also, Mickey Mouse and Pluto
are in Hawaiian shirts.
They come around, yeah. So you get that's a different character experience, but Stitch is always incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And Stitch is pretty cool. He actually does not walk around the restaurant. When you leave, same like the Beast, you get to take a picture with a professional photographer with Stitch. That if you have the Memory Maker, they put on your Memory Maker band.
Yes. Okay, so that's Ohana. What else? We talked about Epcot. We talked
about
Chef
Mickey's is a character experience.
Chef Mickey's. I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so I'm not cutting Shannon off. I'm going to give her a chance to talk about it too.
Oh, you're good.
We heard so many rave reviews about Chef Mickey's, all from people with younger kids than us. We went to Chef Mickey's one time. We can say we've done it.
We won't go back.
I don't think we'll ever go back. That's not to say that Chef Mickey's is bad, per se, because Chef Mickey's features the core Disney characters. You get Mickey, you get Minnie, you get Donald,
Goofy.
Pluto, and Goofy. And sometimes Daisy. I think that's right. Yeah, but you get the Fab Five.
It's a very beloved restaurant, so don't take our opinions.
It's in the Contemporary Hotel and Resort, which is a big cavernous space that's all concrete. And we ate at night after being in the park all day, and it's very, very loud in there because, as you can expect, a lot of young children are eating there. They've basically had it by this point at night. They've had it, and there's a lot of screaming and wailing and gnashing of teeth.
And the tables the tables are really packed in tight, so there's there's a lot of people in there.
Chef Mickey's is a buffet, and we did not feel the night that we went that the food was all that good compared to other. There's so many other good places on Disney's property to eat. It's difficult for me to eat a meal that I think is just mediocre and feel like I got a good value. But having said all that, being able to meet those 5 core characters in a stress-free sort of way, where they just come to your table and you don't have to wait in 5 separate lines, to me that is worth the price of the meal if you want to meet those characters, which at the time we did.
And I will say too, at the time when we went, our kids were younger.
Yeah.
The characters specifically at that restaurant really seemed to go above and beyond with the interacting.
Our kitty's going crazy.
She's attacking the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were just fantastic about interacting with the kids. So that's a great experience for kids.
Yeah. So.
And they have the best dessert bar in the Magic
supposedly.
Kingdom.
I like other desserts better, but yeah, the dessert bar there, that along with the characters is what got the rave reviews from our friends, and you know, everybody had a decent meal. It was a good experience overall. It's just not something we're going to repeat, but if you have young kids, it's a great place. That's another very hot ticket. The core dining times of, like, you know, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., very, very crowded. It's
also, just to let you know, a great thing. Most of the restaurants at Disney are really good and kid-friendly, but if you're somebody that worries about the way your kids act, maybe they're a little louder, maybe they have outdoor voices indoors, and you worry about it as a parent, you don't have to worry at Chef Mickey's. Like, it's come as you are.
Yes.
So that's a great thing, though, to keep in mind, because some people do worry about that.
Yeah, it's very, very casual.
Yes.
You know, so yeah. So any other character places? I'm glad you brought up Chef Mickey's, because I would have felt bad had I not mentioned that.
I think there's some others, perhaps, but we haven't gone to them, because like at Hollywood Studios, you can do the Hollywood Vine and Dine, or Hollywood. They have characters at dinner, and at holidays, they have the characters are in holiday attire, but we've never personally done that, so I don't know what it's like.
Yeah, that's something we want to do one time, but we haven't done it yet. Oh, I do want to mention 2 other things. Animal Kingdom, Tusker House, and Magic Kingdom, again, Crystal Palace. They both do character breakfasts. Now, Crystal Palace is the exact same characters, Pooh and Friends, but their breakfast buffet is actually really, really good.
Delicious.
I will say that because that's a character breakfast, that actually is worth the table credit, the table service credit, because along with the breakfast and getting to meet the characters, you're also going to get into the Magic Kingdom early while it's not open to the public, so you can actually get pretty good photos on Main Street without all the crowds being present.
If you book an early breakfast.
If you book an early breakfast. So that's something to keep in mind. Tusker House is the exact same way, but for Animal Kingdom. If you book an early breakfast at Tusker House, you'll get to meet Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Donald in safari gear. That's a pretty cool thing. The food there is really good. It's different than anything else you'll get in Disney World. I really like it. I highly recommend it. And Tusker House is right next to the safari ride. So once you get done with breakfast, you can walk right outside and right onto like one of the first safari rides of the morning if you book the early breakfast. So that's a really big plus for us.
Definitely worth it. Last time we went, we had that experience. We left breakfast and the park opened like as soon as we left breakfast. So we walked right over to the safari ride, and it was 3 of us and 2 other people on the ride.
And the ride operator.
And that was it.
Yep.
And yeah, you had the ride operator. So another ride operator got on our tram, and we had just like a personal kind of tour. It was amazing.
It really was, because they were able to stop at animals we wanted to stop and look at a little bit longer.
Because nobody was coming behind us.
We got to learn a lot more about the animals. So it was pretty cool. That's not an experience everybody's going to have, but that was what we got that particular time. So we have made an effort to try and book an early breakfast at Tusker House again, specifically for that reason.
Our little character down here is causing problems.
Yes, she is. If she comes over to me, I'm going to grab her. I'll pick her up and show her to you. Okay, so I want to tell you some of our favorite restaurants. We've hit on some of them already, but my kids actually, on my notes, I forgot to write one. Ohana is probably our favorite restaurant in Disney World for dinner. That's a great restaurant. They come around. It's a Polynesian dining experience, I think they call it. They come around with big skewers with different grilled meats on them. There's chicken, there's pork, there's steak, and there's shrimp. All 4 of them are delicious. And Shannon really likes the side items that you get. Everything's served family style. And it's all you can eat, all you care to eat.
So they bring out just giant bowls. Yep. Every table gets the same thing. But keep in mind that if you have dining options, dining issues, like we went there when we were plant-based, and it's really basically a restaurant based around meat.
Yes.
We went there plant-based. If you let them know ahead of time, the chefs come out, and we had the most amazing meal at that restaurant when we were eating basically vegan as well. So fantastic all the way around. Like, you can't go wrong at dinner there.
Yeah. Ohana is probably our best. Is probably our top. The Be Our Guest restaurant, for the ambiance, for the dining experience of being in Beast's Castle, is also really high on our list. The food there is good. But really, in my opinion, you're going there for where you are eating, not necessarily for what you're eating. A tip for that is you can actually go there for lunch. It's the only place I know of that's a counter service that takes reservations. But if you can eat lunch there, that's a great way to go there without having to, use a dinner credit. So.
But you won't get to meet the Beast.
No, you will not get to meet the Beast.
But if you want to go inside the castle, which is gorgeous inside, if you have any Beauty and the Beast fans, the only way you can get inside is if you have a reservation or eating there. They will not allow you to walk in and look around.
Correct.
So, eat there.
Yep, eat there. Okay, another hidden gem for me, at least, for Magic Kingdom is the Liberty Tree Tavern. I actually really like them for lunch. It's a table service meal. It's another all you care to eat kind of place. I really like their salad. I'm sorry, their bill of fare is all you care to eat, but lunchtime they offer a fixed menu, and I actually really like their salad there. They have a great grilled chicken salad or grilled salmon salad when I was there. Very, very good meal. After a week of eating really heavy meals, that meal just really hit the spot because it was filling, but it also just tasted very, very fresh, and
healthy.
And yeah, it felt very healthy. What Shannon said, it wasn't a bunch of fried stuff. It just was a welcome addition. This trip that we're going, I'm actually going to try and eat more stuff like that and see how I do. So that's an option for you. Another thing with Liberty Tree and Crystal Palace, both, if you're making last minute reservations, like let's say you're like, oh, we have the opportunity to go to Disney World 2 months from now, but that's way after 180 days to book good restaurants. Crystal Palace and Liberty Tree, you can actually book pretty close to when you're going. For whatever reason, they just don't seem to book up. So that's another little hint for you. Epcot also has some of our favorite restaurants, but they're some of our newer favorites. Tutto Italia over in the Italy Pavilion is probably the best Italian meal we have ever had.
Yes.
They are not open this trip that we're going. I think they're undergoing some remodeling or something. Yeah, we are sad about that. That was the best Italian meal we ever had when we were there last year. I'm hoping that keeps going. So, Monsieur Paul in the French Pavilion.
Monsieur Paul.
Monsieur Paul. That was an incredible meal also. What you laughing at, Shannon?
I'm just laughing at our experience.
What's our experience?
I wish they could see me.
Okay.
So we ate there for the first time our last trip, and we ate pretty late at night.
Oh, yeah,
Actually, the park closed while
Mm-hmm.
we were eating dinner. It was great. You can see the fireworks out the
fireworks
window. But it's a nice place.
Really nice.
The staff is nice. It's a higher end dining experience. And we were on that huge dining plan thing, so we all got dessert, which normally we never eat dessert.
Right.
It wouldn't have been nearly as fun of an experience had we not gotten the dessert.
I know what Shannon's going to say.
They bring out these gorgeous desserts.
Yeah. It looked like a chocolate softball.
Yeah, it was like this chocolate ball, and they pour sauce on it, and it melts. I mean, the whole thing is just amazing, right? Sorry about that, guys. Our camera shut off. We talked too long.
Yes.
So we were saying about we were at, Monsieur Paul, and the desserts. Imagine it's really quiet in the restaurant. Very nice,
very
quiet.
Elegant.
Yes, elegant, wonderful experience. But Paul and I got these tarts.
Yeah.
And they were delicious, but they were firm. But it wasn't something you picked up with your fingers and ate. You used your spoon. But when you would try to cut it, it would resist, and then all of a sudden it would go. So we'd be pushing, it would go. You'd push it and break through, and the spoon would hit the plate, and it would go tink.
Because it was fine china, the spoon on fine china.
Yeah, and it's you could just hear it through the restaurant, and then tink, tink, and then we all got the giggles. All four of us, our 2 adult sons and us, we all got the giggles. We are just laughing in the corner, and
because it's funny.
We kind of figured we might not be allowed back.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great restaurant.
It's a great restaurant. Great food. Okay. Let's see, what else? We talked about those. Oh yeah, Hollywood Studios, 50s Primetime Cafe. Very good food. I could kind of do without the shtick that the waiters and waitresses do. I get it. It's kind of fun if you like that For me,
they don't know what the shtick is.
Okay, so the shtick is like, okay, we're all family here. It's like, you know, you have your weird uncle waiting on you or your weird cousin or somebody. It's like mom back in the kitchen cooking food. I just didn't care for all that, but the food's really, really good.
Now, the boys and I, we enjoyed the experience of the whole thing.
Yeah, we ate there twice. The first time was fine. The second time, it just kind of got old for me. So I think that's why I feel that way.
Just because he put his elbows on the table. And if you put your elbows on the table, they try to teach you manners.
I didn't feel like I put my elbows on the table.
You did. If you put your elbows on the table, they try to catch you, and then you get in trouble. So Paul got in trouble.
Yeah, they make you wear like a hat that says I'm a naughty boy. They make you stand in the corner or something like that. It is a fun place because, again, it's very loud. You know, you get to make fun of your neighbors and stuff. If there's birthdays there, they make a big deal out of that. They make a big deal. They'll embarrass you. So it's a fun place. The food is really good. It just, the shtick may or may not get old just depending on how you feel about it or how long you've been at Disney.
Sorry, guys.
All right. I think I've talked about all the places. So I didn't talk about any sit-down restaurants in Animal Kingdom.
Tusker House.
Tusker House for breakfast is probably our favorite. We've tried a couple of the other places there. Personally, I think we prefer Flame Tree Barbecue as a counter service over the sit-down places in Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom Lodge has a good one called Boma, but that's not in the park. So if you really want to be adventurous and try some really new stuff and different stuff, Boma's a great place to try. But yeah. So anyway, I think that's going to about do it for this video. I know this was really long, but there was a lot of ground to cover. So I hope this has kind of helped you and kind of got the juices flowing as far as you know, getting you excited about dining at Disney. I've said it before, I'll say it again. For us, really, the food experiences for Disney are really kind of the most fun part of our trip nowadays. So we enjoy the planning process of that, the dreaming about the food, the actual eating of the food. Well,
and that's because we have two teenage to young adult boys who love food. So
yeah, and Shannon and I, we love it too. So so it's just a lot of fun. And Shannon had mentioned before, I just want to say again really fast, she said it with Ohana, but we have gone to Disney World with special diet issues. And regardless what the diet issues are, every person at Disney World, from counter service to fine dining, make an extreme effort to make sure that you have a great experience.
Yes.
They will make substitutions. They will make stuff from scratch in the kitchen.
Yeah, the chef will personally make you a meal.
Yeah. And just that level of service and attentiveness is great. And I think that's, for us, I think that's what keeps us going back to Disney. So anyway, I do want to give Disney props for that, and all the chefs that work at the different restaurants and stuff. You guys do an amazing job at making people who are, you know, probably viewed outside of Disney picky eaters feel very welcome, and you accommodate them very well.
Yeah, and it's never awkward or weird or anything.
No, it's not. It's not. So anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it. Hope these tips and tricks, you know, help you out, help you to plan your trip, and also maybe just you know, make your trip more enjoyable. So hope you guys like this. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Like I said, we will do a question and answer video specifically on Disney trips, and we look forward to reading those comments. We will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.